Hello and welcome to End Focus, coming to you this week from the fallen star volcano. I am your host Hilka, and joining me as always is my co-host Rosalie. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm okay. I've been dealing with an old, I guess I have one every day, but I had a migraine today, so I'm like a little bit dead inside. But that's par for the course, so it's just how I roll. Apart from that, I'm good. I'm good. I am. I've started like my pre-spooky season of playing spooky games, and there's a little chill in the air. And I had my first toffee apple yesterday, so I'm like in the autumnal zone, and that always cheers me up a little bit.
If I am allowed to complain about something in that regard, as I've talked about on this podcast, we have a thing in the Netherlands called Sinterklaas, which is our equivalent to Christmas that's celebrated on or around December 5th.
Yeah.
And with that comes a specific type, some baked goods, speculaas and kruidnoten or pepernoten, which are variants on the same idea, which are like, they're little cookies spiced with like cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger and sort of in a pumpkin spice direction, but not exactly the same. Those have been in the supermarkets since the beginning of September. And, like, I get it. We don't really do Halloween here or Thanksgiving, so there's not, like, much. Like, there's St. Maarten, I suppose, but I don't know anyone who actually gives a damn about St. Maarten. Like, it's a thing you do with the kids, and that's about it.
Oh.
But, like, okay, I get we don't really have much to do between, like, summer and December, but you don't need to put the functionally Christmas baked goods out when you can still wear shorts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my partner brought home mince pie like 2 months ago. And I was like, all right. Because they are strictly a Christmas like thing. So that was weird. I am somebody that puts my Halloween stuff up really early, but in my defense, most of my core is like that anyway. So there isn't really much of a difference because there's coffins and skulls in every room anyway. It's just now now there's just more of them. And like Halloween's more fun, I feel, with the decorations and things. But yeah, not Christmas. I'm not a Christmas early person. Like December 1st onwards, fine. Put the tree up before that, and I will judge you.
Also, big companies with online retail stores don't make Christmas in July a thing. That is one of the worst phrases I read this year. And I've read a lot of news this year.
I usually do start my shopping in like August though. But only because if you do a little bit by then, by like December, you don't, it's like, it's easier to, because you've kind of budgeted it already.
Yeah.
And also I get like secondhand stuff from Japan and stuff, so you need to make sure it comes on time.
For sure.
Yeah. So I do that. And I have like a box that's just like, this is where all the Christmas stuff is. But, you know, I think that's just savvy.
Yeah, that's just smart.
Yeah.
You're not like, you're preparing the Christmas celebration, but you're not starting the Christmas celebration.
One of my in-laws, I won't name them because that'd be cruel. I used to live with them briefly with my partner, and they did play Christmas carols in August, and I was like, not having this. What the? Like, why? What?
Yeah.
That's time for listening to like summery tunes, not wintry tunes. No, I guess unless you're in Australia, I guess.
But you weren't.
No, very bizarre. But anyway, how were you today?
I'm good. I'm full of beans. figuratively speaking. It's an expression I learned recently, and I've really been enjoying it. It's just I'm very like high energy and excited.
Oh right,
It's been very.
I thought you literally meant you just ate lots of beans.
No, that does happen occasionally. I do enjoy me some black and kidney beans. Ooh, and I like
Have you tried
toli beans as well?
Have you tried? Have I asked you if you have had baked beans before? Yeah.
I did not like them very much.
Blasphemy.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I had baked beans at a friend's house when I was a teenager living in Asia.
Oh, so random.
So it is entirely possible that those baked beans just weren't very good.
Yeah. You need it on like
on
toast in a cold winter's morning.
It was one of those things. It was morning, but it was 30 degrees because it was Southeast Asia.
Because I literally had baked beans on toast for my dinner last night. But it just warms you up and makes you feel all warm and cozy. But now I'll try and remember that full of beans does not mean that your belly is full of beans. But it could mean that.
Yeah, generally, if I've had a lot of beans, I will say I am packed with bean.
Ah.
Just a little fun trivia fact about me, I guess. Before we get into the main part of our episode, just some little behind-the-scenes practical stuff. There won't be an episode for a couple of weeks because I'm traveling, conveniently to Scotland. I'm going to a music festival, and so between now, we're recording this on Thursday, the 11th of September. You probably won't be hearing this until like this Sunday of this week because I'm very busy this weekend. I'm also traveling this weekend, and which also means that we can't cover the Nintendo Direct. That is tomorrow at time of recording, and I'm really, I almost swore, really annoyed at Nintendo for announcing this thing for Friday so that we can't cover it.
Yeah, they always seem to announce them at the worst possible time.
It's genuinely impressive how often, like, they have either drastically changed what an episode was going to be about or forced us to, like, change recording days for Nintendo Directs. It's honestly, like, we joke that, like, Shigeru Miyamoto listens to these podcasts personally, but I'm starting to think, like, there's someone from Nintendo. I'm joking when I say this, obviously, for legal reasons. That, like, listens into our podcasts and knows, like, generally what our recording schedule is and goes, okay, how could we make their lives hard this month?
Yeah, at least it's like they used to be really bad for like time zones over here. Well, for both of us because you're only like an hour apart. But it is at least better tomorrow, isn't it? Because it's like the afternoon.
Yeah, most like directs and like indie world showcases and stuff are like at 2 p.m. GMT.
Yeah, I remember when all the like PlayStation ones were always at like 2 a.m. for some reason, and I'm like, I'm glad I don't have to cover this because I like sleep.
Yeah, there's like Tokyo Game Show last year, I think, and that's obviously Japan time zone in the evening. Mm-hmm. I was like, back when was that still when I was using Twitter? I don't remember. But it was like, all right, I'm going to bed. It's like 11 p.m. and the presentation starts in like an hour and a half. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed now. Let me know if they announce a release date for Monster Hunter. And then I woke up at like 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and I'd gotten a couple tweets of, hey, yes, they finally did.
I hate though, because I get FOMO if I don't. Well, I guess I kind of like job-wise need to be in the know anyway, But I
Yeah.
do get FOMO if I am asleep and I have like I need to know what's happening, even if I don't care of anything that they talk about. It's like I need to know as soon as everyone else knows, which is really annoying. But I'll just have to have it on while I'm typing away tomorrow. But
Yeah.
it's all 60 minutes of it.
It's 60 minutes is like the longest one in years, right? Like
The Kirby one was 47 minutes. So yeah, maybe
yeah. Which leads me to believe that there's going to be some pretty major things in it, and like
or
they've got to announce the actual release date for Metroid Prime 4 like soon, right? Because I mean, we've talked about this before, but like they said 2025. There's not that much of 2025 left.
no.
We're coming up on month 10.
Could be a January thing, like a New Year thing now. I thought it might just all be Mario things. And
It is the 40th anniversary this weekend.
Yeah. And if they do that, there could be a lot of fluff because they have that the Kids Mario YouTube channel with all the little stop motion shorts. So they could be talking about that, and they could be talking. There's like a Japanese, I think it's an actual app on the eShop where it's like it's basically the start of 64 where you mess about with Mario's face, but it's like
oh yeah, you told me about that on like the last episode or like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Because I think that's Japan only, so maybe they'll be like, "Oh, everyone else gets it," or so I imagine it might be lots of little silly rubbish things. Because do you remember like was it the 35th anniversary? They just did nothing, or was it the Game and Watch thing and that was it? It was like really rubbish. So
didn't they do like the 3-pack for the 35th anniversary?
Oh, was that the 35th one? Yeah,
I think so. Hang on, I own it.
I know. I was gonna say like it's somewhere behind me in a pile. No, that sounds about right. I would like it to be lots of cool things, but I just have a feeling it might be lots of fluff.
It doesn't immediately say on the box.
It'd be cool if it's like a sequel to that with like Galaxy 2 on it and
and yes, and 3D Land.
Yeah, but I don't think they would because he did like the Switch port.
No, 3D Land, the 3DS one.
What was the gold coin one?
That was New Super Mario Brothers, also on 3DS, but that was a 2D platformer. And this was specifically Super Mario 3D All-Stars with 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know what
so 2 good games.
Pop on there.
So yeah, to make a very long story short, due to the way that life is, we will not be able to cover that direct basically at all because it's going to happen after our recording, and like by the time we can record next, it'll be very old news. So I also won't be in the server to live blog the direct because I will be on a train with spotty internet at the time of its broadcast, which I guess, given that this episode comes out after the direct, is not actually that useful for me to say, but it's more just like a commiseration that I do enjoy doing those, and so the fact that I can't this time is kind of a drag.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on behind the scenes. And if you want to support us doing more stuff behind the scenes to help more things happen, you can send us some money on patreon.com/gamepodular. Of course, you don't have to. Take care of yourself first, obviously. If you got a couple extra dollars lying around, send them our way. We would be very appreciative of that. Also, if you're listening on YouTube, hey, what up? How you doing? Let us know what your favorite announcement from the Nintendo Direct was.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, will have happened by the time you're listening to this, and I will probably at least have read the news updates, but not watched the stream. Yeah. Did they announce the new Metroid Prime's actual release date? Are there just a bunch of... how do I say this without swearing? Boring mobile games that I cannot bring myself to care about, but somehow make $10 billion a year? Like they do in every Pokemon Presents?
Oh, yeah. What would be like... I'm trying to think of like what the most exciting thing they could announce, and if I could predict it, and then people can listen to this and be like, "Oh, she was on the ball," like, because it can't be a Odyssey sequel because the team were doing Bonanza.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a Mario Party because they just did the Switch 2 update and for Jamboree. It wouldn't be Mario Kart because just got a new one. So I'm like, what the.
Probably wouldn't be Zelda because Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom weren't even that long ago.
Yeah.
Star Fox?
Ooh. That'd be
like
fun.
The most realistic ones that I'm thinking of are just like we have a couple of big games but no release dates for them yet. You know, like Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, we don't have a release date for.
Oh, yeah.
For example.
That's fine.
Still waiting on more info on Professor Layton and the World of Steam.
Excited for that one.
Just a new Ace Attorney game would be sick.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that was indeed a thing.
It's been a hot minute since we had one of those. I mean, technically, like, Investigations 2 was part of that collection, was new to outside of Japan. But that game originally came out in DS. That's not new. Our first news story is about the Nintendo 2DS XL, the repair service of which has officially ended as of September 4th. Like the other systems, they stopped being sold at some point, and so they also stopped making replacement parts for them, and when they ran out of replacement parts, the repair service ended. With the 2DS XL, this means that now every 3DS and 3DS variant is no longer supported by an official repair service. Mm-hmm. This was the last holdout. Sad, but unsurprising. Honestly, I'm shocked that there was still one going.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I guess the 2DS XL was the last model to be released.
Almost.
Right?
Yeah, like over 10 years ago. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's good. Like, whenever I hear these things, I genuinely sometimes forget that they have repair services for older stuff at all. So I'm like, oh, that was good to know that existed, even if I didn't need to use it.
Yeah.
And, like, there'll still be people, locals. There'll still be services of people that aren't official that specialize in repairing handhelds and things. So it's not the end of the world. And actually, probably more ideal because then you can give your money to people that, have family businesses and things rather than a corporation that doesn't need it. Unless, there was a warranty situation. But I imagine all the warranties are all done by now. Surely run out by now.
I have to assume so.
Yeah.
It would be weird to be like, well, there's not an official repair service anymore, but it is still under warranty. So fire up the 3D printer, I guess. Oh, yes, I talked about this on the Discord. In our first of 2 legal updates we're doing this episode, let's get into some lawyer speak again. A while back, last year, the manufacturer of accessories, Genki, made some waves at the Consumer Electronics Show by proclaiming that they got their hands on a Switch 2 and that they were showing off accessories. that were compatible with the Switch 2, even though it hadn't been officially been revealed yet. And they got in some trouble for that, unsurprisingly. And that produced a lawsuit. And that lawsuit has now been settled. It is an undisclosed sum of money for damages and a bunch of restrictions, which I have a list here. They are no longer allowed to use the Nintendo logo, the terms Nintendo, Switch, Switch 2, Joy-Con, Glitch, and Glitch 2. Those last two because they're too similar to Switch. They're also not allowed to sell accessories without clearly disclosing that they are an unlicensed seller. They also are not allowed to use color schemes that are too similar to the ones Nintendo uses, which the settlement defines as red and white, red and blue, green and pink, blue and yellow, purple and orange, pink and yellow, and purple and green. Look, I have found this whole situation to be a little funny. I'm not going to lie. And I've talked about this on the podcast before. Because, I genuinely don't know what they were expecting when they pulled this stunt. We've talked many times in this podcast, and we will do so again later in this very episode, about how famously litigious Nintendo is. They should have seen this coming, and maybe they did and thought they could fight it. And I don't see how they could have made that decision, but, I don't work there. I will say, this feels a bit harsh to me. Obviously, like I said, they were definitely in the wrong. They did, in fact, break trademark and reveal proprietary secrets before they were legally allowed to be. But, losing the ability to use, those color schemes and Glitch and Glitch 2, which they were using for their products, they'd have to rename the products and stuff. That is too far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to be very careful in what I say because I review Switch accessories for a living.
Yes.
Including this brand. And it's just bizarre because there is a plethora of third-party brands that have color combinations and designs that are deliberately meant to look like the Switch colors.
Yeah.
So, are they gonna, some companies do actually copyright the exact, it's not HTML coding, but the actual
hex code.
Yeah, of colors, and I hate that. I hate it so much.
It's terrible.
I just think I'm trying to think how I can word this without, getting in trouble. I just think that that's not fair. And also, it's annoying because a lot of third-party brands are a really good way to get not accessories that are not only could be a lot cheaper, but can offer things that the officially first-party ones don't. So,
yep.
In fact, you're taking away an aspect where the designs can look funky too. Just feels a bit unfair.
They're not allowed to use Switch 2 and Joy-Con anymore. So this is an accessory for the side controllers of the biggest handheld console hybrid from a Japanese company, right? They're not allowed to say Nintendo either anymore.
Yeah. Which is,
how do they market their accessories?
I also don't know how they were able to get to that decision, because there's a million, if you search Switch 2 accessories on Amazon right now, there's a million brands I've never heard of, and you can keep finding them, right? And they'll say for Switch. And they didn't have to my knowledge, they didn't have to pay Nintendo any money to be able to say that their accessory is for the Switch. and you need to be able to say what it's compatible with, because it's like the headlines and like retailers like it. It's like an SEO thing, just like, you know, when you write headlines for articles, people will search keywords like switch to Joy-Con add-ons or grips or something, and it'll pop up. So if they can't do that, then people aren't going to find their. Yeah, I think it's too harsh, and it's also. I understand how like the neon red and blue is very synonymous with like the Switch, and they've kept it for this generation for that reason. But like, I don't know anybody that has the was it the purple and yellow Joy-Cons? You can't just decide that you're going to be like, well, that's our color combination now. It's like, no. You have the red and blue. You can't have everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems very. I don't like it. And I'm not, again, like, I'm not. I don't get paid to say things about brands in a positive way or in a negative way. I am it's all my own opinion and what have you.
Yeah. You get paid to be professional and honest.
Yeah, I personally do enjoy a lot of third-party accessories because, like I said, they offer things that first official ones don't in a lot of cases, and they can be more interesting and funky. And so, like, I get sad when something happens so that we can't get them because it's not fair. But yeah, it's disappointing.
This definitely feels like a very like. It almost feels like a warning, you know, like. Obviously, it didn't go to court. They did eventually settle. And by the way, as far as I understand the law, which again, I am not a lawyer and nothing I say should be taken as legal advice. But if you go to court and a decision is made, that creates legal precedent, which you can then use in other similar cases.
Yeah.
And in the long run, a settlement like this is probably also healthier for the industry overall, so that a precedent that sets these kinds of restrictions can't be used against other companies. I don't know if that was Nintendo's intention with this, but I am speculating that that could be part of it.
Yeah, because there's other brands that use like a word that sounds like Switch in their accessories.
Yeah.
Like D-Brand have the Kill Switch. Brilliant name. So are they gonna? That's like. Are they gonna be like, oh well, now you can't do that? I don't know yet. It does worry me. And like, look, you can, if you only like official Nintendo accessories, that's fine. But like a world where we're limited on all the extra like accessories and bits and bobs you can add to your handhelds and your consoles, it's just a very boring world to be in.
Yeah.
I want to be in a world where all these cool brands can exist because you know, they can make new and interesting things and can in turn affect the mechanics of future handhelds because it's all synced up. Yeah. So yeah, it's just it is a bit worrying. It's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Bit sad.
Well, I have some bad news about our next story then, because it's also bad news.
Yeah.
In the legal sphere. Hey, we haven't talked about the Pocket Pair suit in a while because the law moves slowly. Mm-hmm. But Nintendo filed for, or rather was granted, that is a different thing, 2 patents recently. One of them we're not really going to talk about because it seemed to the best of my knowledge, be just sort of an update of an already existing patent of like basically the moving around in the overworld with creatures mechanics that they made for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Mm-hmm. I was reading like the news articles about this and I was like, hang on, I've read this patent before, which is such a great thing to realize about yourself when you don't actually work in law.
Maybe you could. Maybe this is fate.
But the other one that has gotten people very worried is patent 1254 403,397 in the US. I assume that's just... I'm not going to speculate, but it seems like a difficult way in finding patents again, you know, just giving them number codes like that. Maybe it's just chronological. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not going to speculate. It has been a contentious issue. I will try my best to break it down. I am not a lawyer. I am giving my best honest attempt at what I have gathered from reading the actual patent, which a lot of people haven't done, but I did. I'm just going to say that right now.
Everyone applaud. Yay.
And I also, I will say, I do want to apologize. I did talk about this a little bit on Blue Sky before I had actually read the patents. I deleted those posts, but I'm owning up to, I said some thoughts that later turned out to be incorrect. And that is why I deleted them.
Yeah, I think you're not the only person that does that on social media, so I think you're fine.
Yeah. I am owning up to my mistakes, as all of us should. That is not like calling out somebody specific, by the way. I'm just trying to set a good example, I suppose. So the point of contention here was that GamesFray published an article. GamesFray is a website that I have actually used before. They've been tracking the Pocket Pair lawsuit for a while now. Published an article about this new patent and sort of explained what the patent was in theory, and basically made the claim, I'm paraphrasing here, that they have patented, that Nintendo has patented the idea of throwing out a creature and having it battle other creatures. In my opinion, that is not correct. Having read the patent, because you have to remember, patents are for very, very, very specific mechanics and ideas and situations, and even slight variations would fall outside of those patents. This is one thing that the GamesFray article does point out. In order for something to be infringing on these patents, it has to meet 9 different criteria. All of them. Not some of them, but all of them. This seems to be, to me, a patent on throwing a creature out into the overworld, and it battles something while you have minimal to no control over it, while you do other things. This is what like a mechanic that was introduced in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or at least into the Pokemon franchise. It has happened in other games as well, which is another point of contention I'll get into in a little bit. But the main thing I want to make clear here is, to the best of my knowledge and understanding of this patent, they have not patented the basic idea of creature collecting and battling games. Dragon Quest Monsters is going to be fine. Digimon Story is going to be fine. It is still a massive chode move to patent mechanics like this. I don't want people getting in my inbox and saying that I'm giving Nintendo the benefit of the doubt too much. This is still bad. It's just not catastrophic in the way that I saw a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. It's one of those, please read the articles before you repost and talk about them kind of moments.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I want to make it clear that I am not a lawyer, so I'm doing my best. I know I say this a lot, especially in this episode, but I am pretty good with language, and so I think I did a pretty decent job of interpreting the very dense legalese that was in this patent.
Yeah.
I do also want to point out, GamesFray, while being a website that is primarily focused on the legal happenings in the video game world, the person who runs it also not a lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah, I found that out. So they're only slightly more qualified to be commenting on this stuff than I am.
That's bizarre because I kind of thought that was the whole point.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought so too, and that's why I assumed it was a much more reliable source than I am now finding it to be.
I wonder if it's like I'm very sure I've brought this up several times. Like when if you want to, well, I don't know. I think it's similar in different countries, but like in the UK, if you want to do a arts degree, you cannot finish it unless you do. There's like a media law module that's like you just have to do,
that makes sense.
regardless of the topic. So for like third year, I had to do a media law like whole module, and you have to do like an essay and everything. And it's all talking about like you have contract law and tort and all that things. But it was like Scotland specific because obviously it's different. Like you can't be a lawyer in Scotland and England. It's either or kind of situation. I just like to say that I got an A and I really enjoyed it. And part of me wishes that I did in fact get into music copyright law because it's really interesting. But that's like you talking about legalese. That's a lot of things. It's just remembering that and remembering past cases and things, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do that. But it's. I wonder if maybe they also just did a degree that had a media law module, and we're like, yep, okay.
It's possible. I don't know, but I do know that as far as I've been able to find, they are not a legal professional in any capacity.
Yeah, that's a shame because I watch is it Legal Eagle. I'm not like 100%.
I've seen a couple of his videos.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his because I think some of his clients are not people that I enjoy. But I do like watching his like reactions to like Grey's Anatomy and like like whenever they have the law issues pop up in episodes and how just entirely inaccurate it is. So it is actually good when you do have somebody from that kind of an expertise giving a fresh perspective. So that is a shame. But
so again, like this is still bad.
Yeah.
Like this does feel to me, I'm speculating here, like Nintendo is registering patents like this to use as ammunition against Pocket Pair, and also the Hoyo is making like a creature collecting game, like the Genshin Impact people, and Nintendo feels like Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are trying to like shore up their defenses to try and like stay the biggest kid on the playground,
Yeah. Which is silly when you think about it, because I'm sorry, if they weren't going to get Genshin Impact for being a Zelda clone, like they've missed an opportunity there. Because it literally like looks like Zelda and when you play it. And the gliding thing, and
it was very Breath of the Wild. Like it's less now.
Yeah.
But at launch especially, it was very Breath of the Wild-y, right?
Yeah. Like even I was like, come on. but now everything is, because it's like in the zeitgeist of like what popular games are now. So I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm still surprised that didn't, get the lawyers all riled up. Maybe it did, and we just don't know about it. Yeah.
But that thing you brought up is very relevant here, because that is how for a very long time games worked. Games. There was a big game that came out, and a lot of other games, you can very uncharitably say ripped them off, or you can say more realistically were inspired by certain mechanics or elements of those games and made like their own take on the idea, or incorporated some elements of the design into their own games. Like that is the way that inspiration and interesting ideas spread across this industry, and trademarking and patenting in this case, and patenting mechanics like this Or say the Nemesis system stifles creativity. It stops these games and ideas from being developed by other people taking their own spin on them. And that just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there's no really other way to say it without swearing. Like,
Sucks isn't a swear word.
yeah, but, you know, I could add some other 4-letter words before sucks.
That's true.
Or 4-letter words with ing at the end.
But no, you're right. And even if it produces things like Genshin Impact, which I do not enjoy for a huge myriad of reasons, it's I still want things to keep existing and to develop and people to be inspired by things, because that's never a negative thing. Well,
Yeah.
but you know, I I'd rather people have that more freedom to keep making things, especially at a time where the industry's falling apart and not many people can actually afford to keep making things and developing ideas. There's like, we shouldn't be stifling creativity. We should be inspiring and funding it and instead. So it's depressing. That's the only word I can think of.
Yeah. As the meme goes, la problema es capitalismo.
Yes.
So more on that as it develops, I suppose. By the way, I don't speak Spanish, so if I misremember that meme wrong, please let me know.
Oh, I thought
it's possible.
I thought you sounded great.
Yeah, like my accent's okay,
Yeah.
but it's possible I conjugated some verbs incorrectly or something, you know?
I can barely speak English, so I can't really comment. But I liked your accent though, because not to get derailed, but well, I guess you've lived in many countries, so you can pick up languages probably easier than the average person. But I cannot stand when people learn a language, but they don't realize that learning the accent is like a huge part of it. So so like flashbacks to like high school French, where it's like bonjour, je m'appelle Steven, comment t'appelles tu? And I'm like, ugh. You need to roll it. I mean, Scottish people roll their R's too. It's not hard to get the French accent.
Yeah.
But I think you sound great.
Not to be the stereotypical burnt out gifted kid on Maine, but that was something I always got a lot of compliments for when learning languages, is I could pick up the pronunciation pretty well. I took French for 5 years, maybe longer, maybe 7.
Ooh.
I don't remember. It was a very long time ago. But the point is, I would be pretty good at picking up the accent from my teachers, which was very funny because when I started learning French, the teacher was British, and so she had a British accent in her French. So instead of café au lait, which is how you pronounce it, I said café au lait.
Yeah. That's funny that your French teacher was British, and I'm in Britain, and my French teacher was French.
Yeah. Later that did get corrected by an actual teacher from France. It's funny because I went my first French teacher, she was specifically English, and then my second one was Scottish, and then my third one was Swiss.
Wow. Not surprised.
Or no.
With the Scottish thing.
No, I think the Scottish teacher, she just taught us some Swiss variations on French. I think. I don't know if I ever actually. Oh man, the point is, the French teacher I had for my last 4 years was actually from France.
That's good. I mean, well, it doesn't. As long as they're good, it doesn't matter. But French was the only one that I could do because again, the R situation is a bit similar. But no, I wish we got Spanish here. I think you do in schools now. But no, I thought you sounded great. Again, I'm always embarrassed by the the UK educational system not encouraging being bilingual. It is incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I am internally jealous. But I pretend I'm bilingual because I'm like, English and Scots are two different languages technically. So
Not technically. Like Scots is an actual language, right?
yes,
Like
yeah.
officially.
Yes. Although there's a lot of horrible people that won't agree. So I wish I knew Gaelic though. That would be cool.
I want to learn Frisian again,
Ooh.
which is very local. It is basically spoken in one province of the Netherlands, but it is, legally speaking, an actual language.
Cool.
It's not a dialect, it's a language.
Yeah.
For little tiny history lesson based on what little I remember from my university English classes, Frisia was like its own kingdom that existed before the Netherlands. There's also a little, it was like it sort of mingled, like it was a Germanic, and it had a little bit of Saxon in there as well, I think, as far as language goes. And so there's a little pocket of Frisian speakers sort of over by Denmark, if memory serves, sort of like between Germany and Denmark, because that's how far the kingdom stretched way back in like the Middle Ages, And now that the Netherlands exists, and it was sort of absorbed into, Frisia was absorbed into the Netherlands. It's basically only one province anymore that speaks it, which is a pity because it is a language that is like, it is unique. Yeah. It's different. The anecdote I always like to give to people is the current Frisian language resembles Old English more than current English resembles Old English.
Oh.
Because, again, this was my degree. In 1066 is when the Normans, not the Norse, the Normans, conquered the British Isles. And that is when they brought French, like Normandy French, and Latin to the islands. And so Latin became the language of governance, it became the language of religion, and in a lot of places also the language of education. And so that is how Latin and Latin-inspired languages like French wormed their way into English and drastically changed how the language worked for the rest of time, and is one of the reasons why learning English as a second language is a gigantic pain in the ass because it sucks. It's like, linguistically speaking, English is such a hodgepodge and melting pot of so many different languages and influences and ideas that there are just rules with more exceptions to the rules than there are examples of the rules, and things that are pronounced in ways that nothing else in the language is pronounced because it's taken from other languages, and that happens in other languages. But English is one of the most frustrating examples of it. Maybe it's because I learned about all of them and I didn't really think about how it happens in, like, I don't know, Spanish. It doesn't really happen in French because the French government is very pedantic about it.
It's interesting you were talking about the Saxon thing, because I know that a lot of Danish and Scots words are the same. So, because we say, if we're talking about children, we say bairn, which I think there's a version of that using Danish, and like kirk instead of church. And there's like loads of words that are like, there's like,
that's also in Dutch. Kerk.
Oh, so yeah,
Kerk.
that'll be
Kerk,
yeah.
Dutch.
I think muckle is also another one that's I think even like stuff like kilt. There's like I don't know if it's like going to be like kilt or something instead, but there's a loads of words that cross over, which I always thought was really interesting. Yeah. But yeah, words are cool.
Yeah. Until like I doing like getting an English degree, which I have part of an English degree, I suppose, is very interesting if you want to get really mad at the English language. Like, you learn so much, but you also realize that it sucks.
Yeah.
It's a terrible language.
Yeah. Well, I'm like undiagnosed dyslexic, so I can 100% confirm that English sucks.
And I could go on about this for another 20 minutes, but we're ostensibly here to do a video game podcast.
That's true, yeah.
So let's talk about what we've been playing.
I have not been playing a Nintendo thing, but I will quickly say before you talk about exciting Nintendo-y things you've been playing, that's because I'm in my spooky time, and annoyingly every game that I was like, I'm going to play this, it's just not on the Switch or Switch 2. So I was like, oops.
Yeah.
Because talking our languages, I started Still Wakes the Deep, finally.
Oh, nice.
And oh my god, best Scots representation I've ever seen in a game. You can put the subtitles in Gaelic, and there's a trophy for it on the PS5 when you finish it in Gaelic. And there was a character that had a Doric, was speaking in Doric, and that's what my family speaks. So I was like, this is amazing. I'm gutted it's not on the Switch, because I would want to talk about that because it's great. Can't. But yeah, I'm full on spooky Silent Hill F time soon, so not been playing Nintendo things technically. But you've been playing something Nintendo-y.
I have. Listeners of our episode that we released before, like, either the release of the imminent release of the Switch 2 or like before the imminent like full announcement, will remember that one of my favorite Switch 1 games is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And this month, September, they released a Switch 2 update, both like a technical update and new content. I guess you could call it an upgrade, because that's what they're calling it, called the Star-Crossed World. And I played it, and it was very good. I posted these thoughts already in the Discord server, which you could join if you go to our website. There's an invite link on there. Or, fun fact, I also have a bunch of commands set up on our Twitch channel, which I'm now realizing I forgot to mention at the top of the show. But we have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GamePodular. And if you type !Discord in the chat, you will just get an invite link to the Discord in Twitch chat. I recently started working with Stream Elements. Anyway, so yeah, if you're hearing some of these for the second time, that's why. First off, as with a lot of the upgrades that they've done for Switch 1 games, the technical side of it is excellent. The higher frame rate especially just makes everything feel good. It makes everything look so much better. It is genuinely making me want to replay the game from the beginning, which is something I already did earlier this year. That's how exciting it is. And they added a bunch of new stuff. Not as much new stuff as I would have liked, but the stuff that was there was very good. The new levels are great. I am a little disappointed that they're just remixes of the existing ones. Sure, there's new stuff in them, but like a lot, it doesn't really explore a lot of new ground, you know? Because we already had I forget what it's called, but the dream world that you go to and collect pieces of Leon's something or other. I'm trying to be like spoiler free-ish, but still give context. Because that was like, those levels are just all of the levels in one area sort of smushed together. And this was not that, but I was hoping for some just brand new levels, you know? Mm-hmm. I will say the the way the levels get transformed by these flowers, they create these like you saw them in the trailer. They create these like starry bridges and new platforms and just open up sections of the level that were previously inaccessible. And it's just visually so colorful and vibrant and beautiful. And it made it such a joy to just exist in. There are some new mouthful mode objects. All of them were a lot of fun, except the spring. I didn't like the spring in this game, and I also didn't like it in Donkey Kong Bonanza all that much, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're 0 for 2 this year on spring mechanics, I suppose. I would have liked to see like a little bit more, just like some cool stuff that was going on with them. And this sort of brings me into my one main criticism, is that I just wanted more. Like, I'm happy with what I played, and I try not to do like cost benefit analyses on price too much. I think it was a fair price because everything there was supremely high quality. But just like 1 or 2 more new things just to add a little bit more spice. Like, just like a new copy ability would have been cool, because there aren't any with this upgrade. And some of the mouthful mode objects just didn't really get to have as many clever uses, because there's not nearly as many levels in the upgraded new content as there is in the base game. Like, there's, like, you use each of those mouthful mode objects like 2, maybe 3 times at most. I did like the final boss. It was a lot of fun. It was just a cool design. It plays on some of the ideas from the final boss from the base game and expands on them in a way that I really enjoyed. It's also just visually just a very cool design that builds on stuff from the story of the base game. And the real final boss kicked my butt. And I had to shift the difficulty down to Spring Breeze mode to beat it, but it's really hard and really fun, which is something I really enjoy about Kirby games, is they're like 85% very easy.
Yep.
Until you get to the end.
Yep.
And then there's like 2 or 3 bosses that will like have you pulling out your hair.
Yep, sounds about right.
One of my favorite Kirby games is Nightmare in Dreamland on the GBA. I have played that game so many times, asterisk, but I have never beaten the final boss. It's so hard. I do recommend going into the final boss, the actual final boss in the arena, upgrading, like fully upgrading your favorite copy ability before going in. Like, you can use the gems to upgrade it even further to like make the stats better. You should do that. And you should do that also if you're using the best copy ability, which is Sword. It was very good. Like, in conclusion, it was very good. And if you liked Forgotten Land, you should buy it, because it's more Forgotten Land and it runs like a dream and it looks even better.
Yeah.
And if you've never played the Kirby in the Forgotten Land, what are you doing? What'd you do that for? This is one of the best games on the Switch. And now it's even better on Switch too.
I will say that for people listening that haven't played it, for whatever reason, it is very likely that it will be cheaper for you to buy an original Switch copy and pay for the upgrade pack separately.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that's been the case for... So people get confused as well, because the only 2 upgrade packs that are available if you're a NSO Plus member are Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. All the other ones you have to buy either on the eShop or get a download code from whatever retailer that you might buy it from. But for Jamboree, in the UK and in the US, it's cheaper if you have an original Switch copy and just buy the upgrade pack on top of it. Sometimes it's not marginally like different, but if every penny counts, it's definitely worth double checking. Because like Switch 2 stuff do be pricey.
it do be like that, yeah.
Because I haven't played Forgotten Land, and I was like, maybe I should finally get it. And I'm like, well, I'm not getting the Switch 2 version because it's more expensive for some reason. So it's cheaper for me to get the box Switch one and the upgrade pack on top of it. It doesn't mean you don't have a Switch 2 game to add to your shelf, but that's not the biggest loss in the world, I guess.
Yeah, the Switch 1 boxes don't look that different. Obviously the red is used differently.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference between my Bonanza box and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah,
you should play it. You should play it.
I know, I need
to. You should play it.
I know.
And from one classic Nintendo franchise to another, we alluded to this near the beginning of the episode, which feels like it was 7 years ago. So much has been talked about in this episode already. But in a good way, I want to be clear. But it is Mario's 40th anniversary this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And you have prepared a little something for that. Have you not?
Yes. So, let me just get some paper to keep track of things. In case this all goes haywire. So September the 13th marks the 40th anniversary of Super Mario series. Oh my god, we're all old. On that fateful day in Japan in 1985, the very, very first Mario game was released on the Super Famicom, which is what the NES is in Japan, for anyone that doesn't know. And it's, if that didn't happen, we might not be talking together today. Isn't that really weird?
That is one of those butterfly effect things. Yeah,
fate. So I wanted to celebrate this monumental occasion and pay homage to the franchise and see if your Super Mario knowledge is stellar or it's so bad that you deserve to be booed.
Awesome.
I wrote that.
That was great.
I wrote that in a bubble bath, so... I will say, so it's 15 questions in total. I've done it to easy, medium, and I was going to write hard, and I was like, no, it's Kaizo.
Oh.
But these, when I was writing them, I realized that it's easy, medium, and hard for my perspective. So I don't know how far, because you've missed some generations. I don't know how deep into your Mario lore or knowledge your brain is, but I think these are okay.
It depends how many side games there are that you've included. I don't know anything about any of the Mario sports games, for instance.
No, I've tried to keep it kind of pretty mainline. Because if I've
functionally only ever played 1.5 Mario and Luigi games,
Yeah. No. I've tried. I'm not going to ask you who's the character you meet an hour into blah blah blah. No, I'm not that mean.
Okay.
I hope. Okay. I'm worried. No, it'll be fine. Okay. Question 1. The Super Mario game series officially began in 1985. But can you name the game where Mario, also known as Jumpman, actually had his first appearance?
I believe that is Donkey Kong?
That is correct. Donkey Kong. 1981. Which is crazy.
Wasn't that supposed to be a Popeye game originally, and they couldn't get the rights, and that's why Jumpman?
Well, that means you're going to get the last question, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Oops. It's fine. Okay. Question 2. Okay. World 1-1 of Super Mario from 1985 famously starts with a Goomba as the first enemy you encounter. But can you tell me what the second enemy is?
Piranha plant?
No, it was kind of a trick question. It's another Goomba.
Oh, I see. Like that.
That was one of the ones I was
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
You'll get this. You'll get this one though.
Okay.
Okay. So here's a bit of trivia that everyone and their grandma knows. Super Mario Brothers 2 released on the NES in Japan in 1986 and was later rebranded in certain territories as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. Out of Japan, the Super Mario Brothers 2 that we got was a lot different. Essentially a reskin of what NES game?
Oh, Doki Doki Panic?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
The history is a lot more complicated than that. So before anyone goes, well, actually, that was the easiest way to say it. Because there's things about engines and all sorts. And I was like, okay, cool. Keeping track of your score manually, so that's fun. Right. Question 4. Okay. Zooming ahead to 2007. Fans noticed twinkling stars and a logo for a game which spelled out, "You are Mr. Gay." And it has become a running internet joke on forums and on social media ever since. But what game did they discover that in?
Okay, so it's not the game that they were teasing. It's what game they discovered it in.
Yeah, so there's a logo for a game in the Mario series. And there's twinkling little animated stars on the letters, "You are Mr. Gay."
I'm gonna, given the time period, I hope I'm not misremembering, I'm gonna say Super Mario Sunshine?
No, it was Super Mario Galaxy. Because
and it was teasing Galaxy 2?
Oh, no, so maybe I worded this weird. So it wasn't when you boot up the game, the logo has stars on the letters URMRGAY.
Oh, yeah. The teasing thing was a Hilka invention, I guess.
Okay.
See, in my head, it was like they found it in Sunshine, and it was a teaser for Galaxy because it was stars.
No,
But no, it was in Galaxy. Yeah, I see. Gotcha.
I think people are just like, oh, that's funny. Because that was the humor at the time. Right. So talking of Mario Galaxy, question 5. You didn't play the GameCube game, so this might be a bit too hard. But anyway, in Super... let me start again. Question number 5. In Super Mario Sunshine, which you did just bring up, Mario meets a new companion by the name of Flood, who is used as the primary mechanic to get rid of all the pollution on Isle Delfino and propel Mario to new platforming heights. But what does Flood stand for?
Oh, I was fully prepared to answer who invented it, and I was like, haha, Professor Egad, got it. But, oh, God. See, I have played Super Mario Sunshine because I do own the Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I haven't played a lot of it because I didn't like it very much.
No, it's very hard.
Yeah,
I mean, I never finish it when I replay it, so that's fair.
Fluid launching. I'm confident the D is device.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of something for the O's. Fluid, or not fluid launching, fluid loading. I keep wanting to say orbital, but that can't possibly be true. Fluid loading, orifice. No, I can't think of it. I'm wrong. Like, I'm confident I'm wrong because I don't know the answer to this.
To be fair, this one, I should have maybe put this one last, but it's Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device. don't know where you got the O from.
Oh, it's FLUDD.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was spelled like, the word flood. FLOOD.
No. To be fair, I didn't.
See, that shows how little of Sunshine I've played.
They need to bring Flood back. It's cute. Yeah, I probably should have put the other one in the end, to be fair. And also, to be fair, Sunshine was my childhood, so maybe bit of a naughty question. Okay, so now here's the medium questions. Question number 6. The iconic Boo Ghosts that are prevalent throughout the Mario series first made their appearance in Super Mario Bros. 3. But can you tell me what their name is in Japan? Because they are not called Boos in Japan.
My answer to that question is no.
Oh.
No, I cannot tell you what they are named in Japan. But for the sake of argument, let's say Spooky Spooky Panic. Like Doki Doki Panic.
That would be cool. No, they're called Teresa. And to my understanding, I'm sorry if people that know the language, it comes from the word teru teru, which means to be shy. Because when you look at them, they cover their faces.
Yeah.
So if you go to Super Mario World in Universal in Japan, all the Boo merch doesn't say Boo on it. It says Teresa all over it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool.
That would be like a funny gift to get someone. Like if it's anglicized at least. Like if it still says Teresa, but in the Latin alphabet.
Yeah.
To give someone who doesn't play video games but is named like Teresa.
Oh, that would be cool. I like that. It could be pronounced that way, but my Scottishness was like Teresa. But yeah, I always thought that's cool because Boos are my favorite Mario baddie. I used to always want a T-shirt that said I had a Boo on it and it says "Look at my Boos," which is kind of rude, but maybe I should still buy that. Anyway, question number 7. Okay, the most iconic baddie, Bowser, does not feature as he does today in the legendary and super nostalgic Super Mario Bros. Super Show cartoon from 1989. He's all green, has a crown, and honestly looks a bit more like Donkey Kong's King K. Rool than how we envision Bowser today. In the cartoon series, can you tell me what his name is?
King Koopa?
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you. I only know that as just a nickname for Bowser that sometimes gets used.
It does,
So
yeah.
I extrapolated.
No, that was clever to do. Yeah. There's like a whole thing of whether they're actually the same character, because I think technically they're different, or depending on who you speak to. I always thought it was like meant to be a different guy, because I actually think King Koopa's a bit cooler. But I really like the cartoon, so that's... Bowser doesn't get utilized as well as he should in the games, I feel. But anyway, question number 8. Princess Rosalina debuted in Super Mario Galaxy as the adopted mother of the adorable Lumas. But can you tell me the game where she made her first playable appearance?
I see. So it's either a sports game or Smash Bros.
Yeah, so it's
It could be Mario Kart as well. Because I know she was playable in Mario Kart 7.
Yes.
Because she was my main in that game. But I feel like... I can't remember if she was already playable in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I don't think she was. I think she was an addition for the Wii U one. Ooh. I'm going to say Mario Kart Wii.
That is correct.
Hell yeah.
Good times. Good times. I miss the Wii. I don't know why I miss it. I still have it, but you know. Question number 9. The Year of Luigi was a special anniversary event to celebrate arguably the better brother. This marketing campaign was used to advertise releases like Mario and Luigi Dream Team and New Super Luigi U. I hate that name. But what year was the Year of Luigi?
Okay. So I have a slightly personal connection to the Year of Luigi.
Oh, and I gave you some clues as well.
Yeah. Problem is, I don't actually know when any of those games came out.
Oh.
Because I went to a local video game. I say local. I mean, it's like pretty big. I don't know if it still exists, but it was big at the time. Called First Look here in the Netherlands. And in one of those years was the Year of Luigi. And I had like a little plush Luigi hat keychain that I had for many years before it completely disintegrated. So it would have been 2012 at the earliest and 2015 at the very latest. I don't think it was 2012 because that was not the Year of Luigi. That was the year where they were demoing the Wii U because that was the first year I went. So I'm going to say 2013.
You are correct.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was like a really hard one, so that's well done. Question number 10, a related question, but can you name one other game that was released in the Year of Luigi?
Just any game or Luigi game?
Specifically used as in the Year of Luigi marketing. So I already said Mario and Luigi Dream Team and New Super Luigi U.
Luigi's Mansion 2?
That is correct.
Hell yeah.
Also just called Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in the UK for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay. So now we're on to the hardest questions, the Kaizo Mario questions. Although you already got
I'm ready.
one, so I'm actually maybe thinking I should have rejiggled them. It's fine. Okay, question number 11. This is a very cheeky question, so I totally apologize. Mario 64 is an incredibly popular game in the speed running community. But can you guess the current record for the game as found on speedrun.com? If you are close, I will still give you it.
How are we defining close? Like within how many minutes?
Well, I'm just calculate, so I'll just whatever I think is not that far off.
Okay, fair
If it's something ridiculous, then like no.
Okay, so the problem is we covered a story on this very podcast, not this episode, obviously, about someone like setting a new record doing the game blindfolded.
Yeah, so there's always different like parameters.
Yeah. So there's different categories for speedruns.
So
and I'm trying to remember that number because it would have been like low, like a lot faster than that number. But at least that gives me like a range.
That's true.
You know? Also, what parameters are we going for here? Like any percent, 100%?
So this was just when I went on speedrun.com, this was just what the number one spot was. So I assume it's just the basic.
I'm going to go under the assumption that it's any percent in that case, because that seems like the most basic. Like, how fast can you get to the credits?
Yes, yeah.
And if it is, how fast can you get to the credits? There's like a bunch of exploits that you can do to get to like the infinite staircase and then like run backwards and or like running leap backwards to get to the final boss like really quickly. So I'm going to say around 6 minutes.
Yeah, I will give you 6. Well, right. There's like a no star run version, but 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Damn.
I know. How? So I'll give you that.
By it being the only game that person plays.
Yeah. I always get like
that's how
jealous of how good people are at some games, and then I realize it's because they play that every single night for like forever, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I would like to learn like a couple of exploits just for fun though. The 120 star one was like an hour and a half around there.
Yeah.
And by the same person, according to speedrun.com. This person really likes Super Mario 64. That is I don't think I even got all the stars myself. I probably have always asked people to help me. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Where am I? Question number 12. Okay, the 40th anniversary of Super Mario is upon us. Although if people are listening right now, it's already happened. So yay.
Yeah.
In those 4 decades, how many mainline Super Mario games have there been according to Forbes.com? This question is really cheeky because there's some games that people include that I wouldn't include and vice versa. So again, if you're pretty close, then I will give you it because I'm nice like that.
Okay. Because, yeah, what is considered a mainline game is very nebulous and undefined.
Yes.
For example, like one of the main people in charge of the Pokemon series claims that Legends Arceus and Legends ZA are mainline Pokemon games, and I personally disagree.
Yeah.
So those 3, and then 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, Odyssey, 3D Land, 3D World, New Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros. 2, and there's inevitably a couple I'm forgetting in there. So let's give myself a margin of error of, let's say, 2. So I'm going to guess... Oh, God. I lost count because I used my incorrect finger notation. Okay. 64, Galaxy, Sunshine, Galaxy 2, Odyssey. Okay, that's 8. So that becomes 8. And then 3D Land, 3D World, New Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros. 2. Oh, Wonder, almost forgot that one. So that becomes, so that's 8 plus 5 is 13. And then let's give myself a margin of error from like the era, sort of the murky, like, I don't think there were any other ones on N64 that I need to be thinking of, but I'm convinced there's like from the NES and Super Nintendo that I may be missing 1 or 2. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say 15.
Okay.
Not a shot in the dark, an educated guess.
So it is up to, there's some like interpretation because some people and outlets include the like Super Mario Run, and I'm like, so
that is not a mainline Mario game. Absolutely
so
get bent.
Forbes.com says 24.
Damn.
And other people say 22. So
there's definitely a bunch that I forgot.
Yeah. To be fair, we might like after this, we might like go home and calculate and actually say we do agree it's 15. So that would be interesting to see. But I specifically put Forbes.com in there just to like protect my butt.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give you that one.
No, that's fair.
But to be fair, that's kind of again very cheeky question. You can tell like by I put this together very quickly, so you know the next time I do one of these, I'll try and make sure there's not many cheeky ones in there. Question.
Here's the thing about the cheeky questions, right? Remember when we did the Sonic quiz?
Oh yeah, and the Pokemon
and I had
one.
like 2 or 3. Well, specifically the Sonic one. I had 2 or 3 questions in there that were like just tangentially related to Sonic. Like I asked you about like a mixed martial arts show that just happened to be sponsored by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, okay.
Or by Shadow the Hedgehog, you know.
So what you're saying is
I think I've earned myself whatever the opposite of goodwill is.
Yes.
With those. So I'm
Revenge.
contextualizing this as payback.
I could have been way more evil then. That's not fair. Okay. Question 13. Mario legend and creator Shigeru Miyamoto has helped design and influence other iconic Nintendo game series. Can you name me 3 without including Pikmin?
Pokemon?
I'll give you that one. I didn't include that one because he's not like made part of the main team, kind of.
No, but he has been heavily involved in the past.
Yes. I'll give you that one.
Star Fox?
Yeah.
Because there's the very famous story about Star Fox Adventure.
Yeah.
That was him. Kirby?
I haven't included that because it's more like a HAL when it originated.
Yeah. Oh, like Metroid? Because like he was involved with the early Metroids, right? When they like stopped, like when Retro took over with Prime, he didn't really get that involved. Am I misremembering? I'm probably misremembering.
Don't think he was part of the design team for the. That I remember.
So I've got Pokemon on a technicality and Star Fox.
Yeah, one more.
Are we counting Donkey Kong as a separate franchise?
You can, yeah.
Donkey Kong?
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, that's on my list. I also had Zelda because he co-created that, and Nintendogs. Yeah. But I knew it
was Rob also him? I guess that's not really a franchise because that's like one game.
Yeah. That was my kind of like.
Also, that's more Gunpei Yukoi's.
Yes, who I think is also like one of the main Metroid
expertise.
People as well. Yeah, because there's lots of kind of like, is it him or is it him kind of situations. But no, yeah. You got that one right. Number 14 is another cheeky one, but now I don't feel bad about them anymore. So the Mario Kart franchise is well known for its vivid and colourful Rainbow Road stages. But over the years, how many different Rainbow Road courses have there been in total?
I'm going to go under the assumption that there's one Rainbow Road for every Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Are we including the mobile Mario Kart?
Yes.
Okay. So there's the one on Super Nintendo.
Mm.
There's, I think the one on GBA is a different Rainbow Road. Although it has some similarities with the Super Nintendo one, I believe.
Yeah, that counts.
64.
Yep.
Double Dash.
Yeah.
Wii. 7.
Yeah.
8. World. Whatever the mobile game is called. Ride? I don't know. I've never played it.
Mario Kart Tour. Yeah.
I believe you.
I used to play it.
Again, to give myself some... isn't there is like a very small part of my mind that's saying that there is a game that has a Rainbow Road 2. And I'm desperately trying to think of if that's something I just like imagined or if it's actually a memory. But to give myself, again, some kind of margin of error for things I've forgotten, I'm going to say 10.
Okay. So I realized I also didn't include the arcade game, but like, I think...
Oh, I didn't know. I forgot that existed.
Yeah. It has Pac-Man in it, so I sometimes don't see it. It's like, I see it as like its own entity. So to be cheeky, the mobile game has 2 Rainbow Roads. Ooh, my belly's rumbling.
Okay, well, I gave myself a margin of error.
Yeah. So it is 10, but technically it's 12. But I put in my notes that I would give you it if you got 10. So
okay.
There you go. And
so how is it technically 12? Does that include the arcade or?
So SNES, 64, Double Dash, Wii, 8/8 Deluxe, Super Circuit, which is the Game Boy Advance, PS, 7.
Yep, forgot about that one, even though that's one of my favorite
Tour,
ones.
Mario Kart World, that's 10, and then the 2 from the mobile game.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it would be 13 if you include... I've only played the arcade game like twice, so I never like think of it. It is fun though. And then I guess you could be like, there's one in the movie. No, we're not doing that. So for the last...
No, we're talking about games here.
Yeah, for the last question, you accidentally answered it at the start, but I'm going to read it out anyway. So, Miyamoto tried getting the licenses to use characters from a famous classic cartoon. Ultimately, he failed, and thus Mario, aka Jumpman, was born. Name that cartoon series.
Why, I believe that's Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yay! I always think it's so kind of like obvious when you think about it, because it's like character that steals the girlfriend and he's big and burly, and I'm like, oh yeah.
So it's just Bluto, baby.
Yeah. Yay! So that is the end of the quiz. Let me do some little calculating. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we can't get. You got 10 out of 15. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, better than my partner who got 1.
Wow.
And now I'm going to force him to play Mario games for the rest of eternity until he can get 15 out of 15. Yeah, if I had more time, I would have made this more detailed. But maybe I could do like a part 2 later on and make it even more cheeky.
I said this to Scott in our most recent Portal 2 stream, where he asked me to guess what like the highest grossing video game movies are. I love these guessing game quizzes so much. I love writing them, and I also love doing them.
Oh, okay.
I did one for an episode of Unfocused a while back based on the Miracle of Sound concert I went to.
Oh.
So I haven't had an idea for one to write in a while, aside from that one, I suppose. But yeah, if you've got more ideas, I am so down.
I wish like a Halloween one wouldn't be so like awkward, because there's not many like Nintendo branded like spooky games, but I'm sure there's something that we can
just like 60% is Luigi's Mansion, and then there's one question about Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem.
That's exactly what I would do.
I guess you could put a Zombie U one in there, because that was a Wii U exclusive until it came to PC.
That game's great. Famicom Detective, that I'm still not played, but I own one of them now.
How are we counting Castlevania?
Oh, the original ones.
It's like gothic, but it's not like horror.
It's horror adjacent, 100%, because the anime is classified as like a horror anime. Yeah, that's horror.
Okay.
There are people that are very strict on what they say is horror things, but it's totally, you can. That's totally. I mean,
in last year's Halloween episode, I think I made a decent argument for like Metroid Fusion as horror elements in a Nintendo game. You know,
I think any Metroid game is definitely they always have like very kind of eerie. Yeah, 100%. So we could be really cheeky with it. I wish I had more Nintendo based hyperfixation, so I could get you like the Sonic ones, so I could get you to like quiz me on a very specific thing. But I feel like right now, unless it was like Jaws, I would not get the questions right. Because of just where my mind is right now. And that has nothing. Well, I was going to say there's a Jaws NES game, so it's not entirely unrelated. But yeah, I don't think that would work. But no, we definitely need to think of other ones. I'm sure they're going to announce, well, by the time people are listening to this, there are going to be even more games that will make all these questions obsolete. Or at least some of them.
All of this was accurate at time of writing and recording.
Yeah. Well, my research was quick, so fingers crossed that it was. Because sometimes it's interesting to think, because there's more obscure things I would get that are maybe like more to do with lore and less to do with the games, but I didn't want to be that person. But yeah, God, 40 years, even older than me at least. So
And me.
yeah, God.
That's a long honestly, like, what was it, 25 mainline games or 27?
20. So Forbes say that it is 24, but there's people that argue it's 21 or 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's like 20. Let's take the highest of 24. Over 40 years, that's a pretty decent pace.
yeah, but
And that's not even counting like all of this the RPGs and the spin-offs
yeah, so
and
the
the sports
spin-offs
games and Mario
the
Kart.
spin-offs would be around 200 apparently.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, okay. But that's like in like the CDI games and things that,
Yeah. We're counting like Mario is missing and Mario teaches typing and Paper Mario Sticker Star. I don't know why that's the one I singled out.
I know.
I guess it's because like it's the least well-regarded Paper Mario.
I still rather play that than Hotel Mario or something, though.
Oh, God.
Although saying that, I do want to own that game just to say that, for bragging rights.
Yeah.
Maybe we could review it one day. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think the directs. I think it's just going to be a lot of fluff. But it'd be cool if something gets shadow dropped, and maybe we're already playing it as people are listening, because we are Mario nerds.
Yeah. But yeah, this quiz was a lot of fun.
Oh.
Thank you for writing it. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to it. I always enjoy doing them.
I wrote it all in a bubble bath, so if you did enjoy it, then maybe I should have more bubble baths.
What an awful excuse to have bubble baths.
I know.
Really,
just have a bubble bath.
Yeah. Oh, I was being sarcastic. Just, oh no, you have to have more bubble baths. How awful for you. All right, that's going to take us to the part of the show where we're going to be talking about what we are going to be playing in the near future. As a reminder, that future is less near than usual because it's going to be a couple weeks between episodes. We'll keep you updated on that on our social medias. Mm-hmm. I am going to be playing the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake.
Ooh.
I got it as a very late birthday gift last month. This month? Last month. Recently. And I've been playing it. We have already talked about it on Game Podular Unfocused. Scott played it and gave his thoughts on it, and I very much enjoyed hearing them. At that point, I had played maybe an hour.
Ooh.
I've played 9 hours now. I'm having a lot of fun. It's grindy. But I'm excited to talk about it more and play more of it. How about you?
So technically all the things I'm playing are not Nintendo related, which is very annoying. But it's not my fault that they decided to drop a new Silent Hill game at the end of the month. I'm trying to think if there is. I might try and pick up Emio, the Smiling Man, because it's been sitting in its wrapper for a while, and it is a scary game. But I can't make any promises. Actually, I did start Slay the Princess, which is an indie game, which is on the eShop. And it's a very narrative driven. So maybe I will play and talk about that.
I've been following like the artist of that game on Tumblr for over a decade.
Whoa, the art is beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, if you do plan on talking about it, I can't wait to hear it. I hear very good things about that game. It's one of those games that's like, it is on the list of games I do want to play, but it's like pretty low on the list because the list is just really, really, really long.
Yeah, I know the pain.
And things keep coming. It's this gosh darn industry. It keeps releasing new games I want to play.
How dare they?
Yeah. That's going to do it for the main part of our show. Of course, stick around for the outro with the info on the social medias and where you can find us and all that sort of thing. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I know we had a great time recording it. And we'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of In Focus. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. Also, please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. Word of mouth really helps too. You can also listen and subscribe on Spotify and other podcast services and YouTube. And if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out our sister show, Game Podular Unfocused. Follow us on Blue Sky and at gamepodular.com for updates, news, and other content. Links to all of our socials, including our Discord, Mastodon, and Blue Sky, may be found at our link tree. If you'd like to support our shows, you can buy us a coffee or become a Game Podular patron. The details for both are on our website. Thank you. This episode was edited by Hilka, and you can follow him at Gear12Turbo at kind.social on Mastodon or at gear12turbo.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. He was joined today by me, Rosalie, who you can find at littlerecordgirl.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. Have a good one.